So it's a Thursday night game, home opener, kind of surprising early in the season. It's home Thursday night. Do you think this is beneficial to the Niners?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time beneficial. Not only because traditionally when you play on Thursday night, there's some good and there's some bad. The bad is that you've got to turn around very quickly after you just played a game. You really don't have time to rest, game plan, what have you. The good is you have this mini bye week. The way I see this game, and if it plays out the way that I think it will, the 49ers should be able to rest quite a bit of their players the second half of the fourth quarter, maybe even more potentially. And if that's the case, it's an easy night for your big time players. Really, you've got almost a full bye week in front of you, the way that this thing's going to play out. You only get one bye week throughout the season, and that is coming a little bit later. But if the 49ers don't get that number one seed, especially if they don't get that number one seed, this week here can prove to be so beneficial throughout the whole season, Grant. I really think that this is an advantage. And not only that, it's the first of 3 straight home games for them. After this stretch, they basically alternate home, road, home, road.
Sure.
So this whole stretch right here, this 3 games, is very, very important overall. And this rest going into the final 2, I think is crucial.
Yeah, I see that. If you got, I mean, you got to have a Thursday night game. So good to have one early in the year. What sucks about the
Yep.
Niners schedules, they have 2 of them this year.
2, yeah.
2. They got one on Thanksgiving as well. So I don't know. I mean, you got to have them at some point. At least it's the Giants. At least they're at home, and at least they're 2-0. They should win this game.
Not only that though, Grant, they really are kind of screwed by the schedule because if you I think last year, first of all, they didn't play on Thanksgiving. They had Thanksgiving off with their family. They had Christmas off with their family. This year, they have the Thanksgiving game and the Christmas game. I mean, these players are humans. They've got families, they've got little kids. That is a time they want to spend with their family, and they're gonna have to play on both those days. That's a major disadvantage. Major disadvantage.
Major, 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 major. Sorry for the Giants. They stayed out on the West Coast, did they not?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's
Have
no
to.
point. If you could you imagine going from Arizona to New York and then back in a 4-day time span? They had to have stayed out here.
It feels like the only chance they have to win is Daniel Jones running for a lot of yards, maybe hitting a couple big throws.
Well, that's the other thing. Traditionally, the 49ers don't do well with these mobile quarterbacks, Grant. But when there is nobody else that you've got to check, there's no way that he's going to run wild. I got to imagine that they're ready to corral it. And not only that, my opinion, Drake Jackson already is kind of an advantage for the 49ers. I think that he can be key towards holding these mobile quarterbacks in check this season because he's so athletic. But when Daniel Jones doesn't have Saquon Barkley and he's without 2 of his offensive linemen, I just can't imagine that they let him do anything with his mobility.
Yeah, but they're
Greg, you don't believe it though.
yeah.
You think they're going to get torched on the ground, it seems.
Well, I mean, like here's the problem with the Niners. It's been
Yeah.
their problem since they drafted Nick Bosa, honestly, and they've gone to the wide 9.
Yeah.
These guys are not playing the run. They're playing all gas, no brakes. So the edge rushers in particular are screaming upfield, and they often rush past the quarterback, get pushed past the quarterback.
True.
Once you run past the quarterback, if he wants to scramble, it's a green light. It's a freaking super highway. A lot of quarterbacks don't. Daniel Jones does. So I mean, Jared Stidham took that against the Niners and helped the Raiders put up 30 plus. So they can't do that. You got to be more disciplined. They talk about being disciplined in your rush lanes. Yeah, but the wide 9 isn't really coached that way. So it's kind of why the Niners frequently have had this issue. We'll see.
Do you think it would be disappointing if this game was close? Because the way that I see it is last week, the game was a lot closer than we expected, but there was a lot of reasons you can point to. One being it's a division game. 2 being week 1, you had to travel all the way across the country and come back. Your second road game to start the season. It made a lot of sense why that game was close. And you're playing against, when healthy, a very, very good quarterback, a good coach, and Aaron Donald's still on that team. With all the injuries that the Giants have being the home opener, I would be a little disappointed if they don't win this game going away.
True. True. I would as well. I just want to point out that Giants scored what 31 points in the second half last week. Is that correct?
Was it
Let me make
31 in the
sure.
second half?
Let me make sure. Giants, where are you? Giants.
I know they were down big against Arizona. I didn't realize it all
Yeah,
came
they
in the
scored
second half.
31 in the second half. So
Okay.
I don't know what's going on with them, but maybe they figured something out. And if Steve Wilkes plays that super soft, passive zone coverage against him, I don't know, man. This team has more firepower than the Rams, which had, not that much.
Do they though without Saquon? I don't know that they do. They've got Waller, got Slayton.
I like Jalen Hyatt.
Hodgins.
He's dangerous, but he's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's fast.
I don't know that they do.
Beat you once. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Chris
They do have
Talerico
Matt
says
Breida though. They have Breida. So let's
watch out for Matt Breida. Chris Talerico says, "Don't tell Kyle to sit BA." Now he's going to run him up the middle up by 30. So true. So true. Plumbing God 42 says, "Been thinking about this the past few days. Hypothetically, if Wilkes struggles and Saleh gets fired from New York Jets, would the Niners bring back Saleh?"
Ooh.
Maybe.
That's interesting.
Although he might not want to come back. He might want to go do his own thing. Don't know. Yeah. Basic hot dog no bun says, "Trap game possible. Keep up the QC Grant." Always possible. Always possible. West Coast Jay says, "The same man that never takes his players out late in a blowout game is the same man we're asking to rest Ayuk." True. It's not going to happen. Never going to happen. What are we talking about?
Kyle, don't rest Brandon Ayuk. I wouldn't rest Brandon Ayuk at all.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it'd be
I would
really
play
stupid.
him every snap.
The smartest guy in the room would play him every snap. Brian Berquist says, "Breida will be the starter. How's his health?" Good question.
Yeah, that's true.
I never quite know.